Okay, so I just had to jump on here real quick and record this kind of discovery that I've had because I was reading Mark 14 and the whole narrative of when Mary anoints Jesus with the alabaster flask, and something kind of like popped out at me that I hadn't seen there before. And it's because usually we focus so much on like the actual act of Mary anointing Jesus and breaking the flask. But if we continue reading, like in Mark 14, verse 6, Jesus defends her, right? And he says, "Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. For you always have the poor with you, and whenever you want, you can do good for them. But you will not always have me." And that kind of just, it popped out of the page, as they say, um, because it's so true even now. Because we're always going to have the opportunity to serve other people and even to serve in God's kingdom. Even after we go to heaven, we're going to have that opportunity to serve him up there. But the only time that we're going to be able to worship God at a cost, like it says here, right? Because it says that this alabaster flask that Mary broke was very costly. And so the only time we're going to be able to do that, worship God with a very costly worship and praise unto him, is here on earth, because of all of the pain and the suffering and the consequences of sin that we have to deal with here on earth. And a lot of times we don't take advantage of that opportunity. We just make ourselves busy with serving people or doing chores or just doing anything that we need to do here on earth, but we don't take that time a lot of the time to worship God, to carve out that time, even if there's like so many other things that we got to do or so many other things that we have to deal with, and really sit in God's presence and pour out our hearts and pour out our worship to him now, even in the midst of whatever we may be going through. And yeah, so that's just something that I was meditating on while I was reading this, and I thought was really cool and convicting as well. But overall encouraging that, that time that we carve out to God here on earth to worship him is not in vain. Even though a lot of times we have to push through and even sacrifice that worship. Like we have to get it out of our hearts. We have to tell our souls to worship him. And yeah, I hope it's encouraging to you as much as it was to me. God bless.